segment, our focus is on the arts, particularly musical artists, and the manner in which Dr. Nujoma contributed to their craft and also expressed appreciation for their contribution to the liberation of Namibia. Now, born in Tsumeb in the Shekupe region and raised in Walvis Bay in the Orongo region, this gentleman escaped into exile in 1974 as a teenager and met the founding president on his way to Zambia through Angola. He was taught guitar by his comrade at the front line in Zambia. None other than Tate Banana Shekupe now joins us to tell us more about his relationship with the founding president. Greetings, Tate, and thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell us about how you knew the founding president.
It's through history of the liberation struggle, because from childhood we had problems at home. And most of the time, like us, we used to fight with white kids every time in town, in Tsumeb, because we were not allowed to go to town. Certain areas, you can be asked, what are you doing here, and all that. Now, always the fight is with throwing it either with stones and all that. And I started to understand this liberation struggle, how it started. But at home also we had war in Walvis Bay, because one of my stepfather was Leo Shopara. He used to fight with white police in the house every morning. They have to break down at the door of our house, fighting. We were sleeping on the floor, but then we have to jump in the corner there. These guys are fighting in the house.
It must have been very difficult for you.
It was traumatizing my life a lot. It's where I started to go deep into this as a child. What is this? To understand why fighting white and black and all the time. And I was also staying with Ben Amadira in Walvis Bay. Used to stay with him as a child. And then later I heard he left the country. So I started to go into this demonstration, the compound life of the people coming from the north on forced labor and not getting enough salary, getting the lowest salary, and all these type of things, this life. I was trying to understand this until I had a bad dream to go to exile, which I had a dream that in our house many people were dying. There's a lot of coffins coming out of the house.
In the dream?
In the dream. And then I heard a voice saying to me, "Do you want to see this?" I said, "No, I don't want to see this." And he said, "Okay, go to exile, where people are going now. Go. If you don't want to see this." Then I really packed my things and escaped. I didn't inform my parents in Walvis Bay. I just took a hike to the north. But the message was, when we arrive in the north, we must look for one guy called Sam. There was also a guy, Sam. He was the one to guide us how to escape through Oshikango. And then this guy gave us a meeting quick at night, midnight, because it was very secretive. Otherwise, you can be killed. Otherwise, you can be arrested. Then he told us about Sam Nujoma, that when you go, you must try to meet this man. Because this was a man we relate to the struggle. You have to see him alive so that it can give confirmation that you are at the right place and you are in the right cause. So that was about Sam. So when you talk about the liberation struggle, it's Sam. Nobody else you can relate to. So told us, okay, when you are going there, try to see. Okay. Then we escaped at night, cross the borders. That time in 1974 was the time I was 16 years old. My last school was 73 in Ochivarongo, standard 6. That was my last school in my lifetime. I've never went to school anymore.
And then when you crossed the border at Oshikango, what happened after that?
Crossing the border, luckily enough, is there was a coup in Portugal. Because you remember, Angola was under the colony of the
Portugal.
Portuguese. And then the Caetano coup happened that time. It was a timing, really. And then the Portuguese kind of surrendered. They don't want to fight anymore with MPLA, UNITA, or FNLA, and all that. Those are the party who were really fighting. I like to Namibia, was only SWAPO, but to Angola, there were many parties fighting. And then UN also jumped in and said, all the refugees, please crossing, the Portuguese must take care of them and help them out with their route to the Zambian borders. Because our journey was to Zambia, where SWAPO is. Yeah. So now the Portuguese army, they escorted us with their army cars. We were in army cars of the Portuguese, and they took us to Wambu, and from Wambu we went with the buses and the train to Luso. From Luso, take us with a military car to the borders. Just at the borders, and they say, guys, bye-bye. You follow that route, you are going to find SWAPO.
And you were only a teenager at the time?
Man, I was a teenager. With a big bag, and this journey, I was not used to bush life. I'm from town, from Walvis Bay. Now I have to use my feet to go, no car. And the Zambian road was like 1 week here on the feet. No food, no water.
How did you survive?
Surviving was tough. When we just crossed the border, we met UNITA guys. They were there, UNITA soldiers. They told us, okay, guys, okay, that's the road you have to follow. You'll find SWAPO there.
And did they have some supplies that they shared with you?
No, nothing. Just by word, goodbye. And then we have to take that road. Following that road, nearby the road, there is some Zambians, villages there. And now we ask them food. They ask you a trouser or they ask you shoes to exchange with the chicken. And for cooking, again, give us the shoe, then we can cook the chicken. That was the journey. And then our suitcases were getting empty. Just to go. Water, you have to exchange. So that was the route. Then until we find the SWAPO camp, the transit camp where we were all of us gathering, fresh from, because 74 was now of the young people going to SWAPO.
When did music cross your path, or when did you cross its path?
Music is actually my route from school in Chume, from concert, because long time ago there was concerts and singing and all that. I started with that at school. I was a good dancer, very good dancer at school. So, and it helped me a lot. And from Walvis Bay, from Children of Pluto and Deadwood, the bands were in Walvis Bay. So I pick up a lot from that. And then when I went to Exile, I had musical background. So because I was also working in a shop to sell music in Walvis Bay. Yeah, I like to work that time when I was young. I don't want to sit at home. So what happened the day we were now from that transit camp to go to the front, to the eastern front of Zambia, we were being transported by SWAPO trucks. By that time also, SWAPO didn't have a lot of cars and trucks. It was like 2 trucks going and come back. It was long trips. And then that trip was now mine and the others. And fortunately, in that trip, the president was there. Sam.
Coincidentally.
Yes, he came there secretly, and it was hiding in one of the truck in front.
And that's how you met him for the first time?
Yes. When we came to one stop at the break, then the driver said, "Do you want to see Sam?" I said, "Yes, we want." There is standing under a tree. That meant, he was looking that side. When we came nearby him, then he turned around. He said,
Tell us about that moment.
It was a nice moment because it's the first time to see this man, which all the people talk about. And he's so quiet. He was so quiet and calm, just smiling. And said to us, "You are welcome." So we have now to fight for our country. It was really a moment, and everyone was running from the truck to go and greet him. And it was really a moment for us, and for me also in my lifetime as a child.
Quite special and quite precious and quite profound.
Yeah.
So, seeing that music was always part of you, how did your journey with Ndilimani start?
It's a long journey because we started music. I started to learn music in Zambia at the front line, because at the front line there were people who came from Namibia knowing music and playing guitar. Some of them from Martin Luther, because a lot of students who knew music are from that secondary school. It was maybe a nice organized secondary school. So people like Shekupe knew music, and he's the one who taught me how to play guitar. Because we used to play music at the front. Singing was based of a moral kind of a medium for the soldiers, because we were bored a bit, longing home, and we were also very young and missing our parents and all that. It was really still fresh, and so music could bring back, and the guys could play the music which we were hearing at home, and that make you to keep on moving with this. So Shekupe told me how to play guitar, because I asked him, "I want to play guitar the way you are playing." He said, "Okay, then I will teach you." So he started to teach me music. And the Zambians also, because sometimes we were staying together with the Zambian soldiers, and they had also guitars. So we used also to go there to them, and they taught us how to play music. And also we played together soccer. In the bush, we were also playing soccer.
Did you perform for the commander as well? Did you perform for President Nujoma as well?
Yes, many times. Because when we started Ndilimani, Ndilimani started in Angola. Yeah, because for me, I was playing music already in Nyango. Nyango is where we had a band, a very strong band called Explosion. And then when I went to Angola, I knew a bit of music and guitar playing, which when I met the guys of Ndilimani, the founders of Ndilimani, which was now in Lubango, because we were from the front of Zambia, we were told to go to the front of Angola. The front was no more working of Zambia, because we were transferred to the other front of Angola, all the soldiers. I was now one of them, because I was at the front to go to Angola. The Angolan front is where I was also involved in music at the front. I was in nursing. I became a medical. I was a medic, and I was used to play for the patients as a therapy, because it was good for therapy for the patient. I had my guitar.
That is so special.
Yeah, it was special especially for the soldiers, which I have experienced. When I always play for the soldiers who are injured, because I was in the main clinic where they are arriving when they come from the front. And I was a personal officer there. I used to take data, who's coming and who's injured what and all that, and send it to the headquarters and all that. And starting now to learn that. So from there I went to Lubango because I was sick. You can see here, I became sick. I almost died. And I was operated in Lubango. And then I was sick. I was not allowed now to go back to the front. And then the people who started Ndilimani now, they heard about me that I was also good in music. So they informed Peter Nanyemba and the commander, and then they were told that, okay, get him to join you. So one day I heard people coming with a car there. Where is Banana here? We heard Banana is here. No, he's there. He's with his guitar. They found me also playing guitar. So they took me, and then we make a group together at one headquarters in Lubango is where we started now to play together. With made-up instrument, made-up guitars. There was no instrument yet. And the instruments was bought by him, by the founding father. In London, the real instrument. It was a history. That is a moment of our journey of Ndilimani.
Whilst you were in Angola, when did
Yes.
this happen?
In Angola.
He bought the instruments in London.
In London. What happened is the big guys of Ndilimani, by that time I was not a leader yet. I was just a member, and there was leaders of Ndilimani. People like Pamo, Chita. Chita was the one who brought me in Ndilimani, actually.
And what instruments did the founding president buy in London for the band?
We just put up a list. We were told one day, put up a list of the instrument you need. Everything you need, put it down.
What was on that list?
That list, it was keyboards, guitar.
You didn't hold back?
No, they didn't hold back because some guys, they know already instrument from home. They were in bands here at home. They put them down. Drums, drum kit, and everything.
Did you know then
Mics.
already that the founding president would sponsor these instruments, or did you not know where the instruments were going to come from?
No, we didn't know.
You were just
It was
told
just a
to
list.
draw up a list.
To put up a list. There to the headquarters. The headquarters gave it in Luanda to the president, London. One day, we were just told, go in that room, open up all those boxes and check for you what is in those boxes. That was the day. When we opened in the bush, amps, guitars. We didn't eat that day. Indeed, we didn't want even to sleep that day. That camp of Swapo was doing like this. Music. Music was cooking in exile from that day.
Now, as artists with music that was cooking, you played such a pivotal role regarding the liberation of this country. What can the new generation of artists learn from what you guys led in terms of the example?
I think it's commitment which was there, because creating Ndilimani, it was not from the leadership. It was from the artists themselves who started just to do things the way they know what they love to do. And then through that is where the leaders realized that these guys are serious with what they want to do or what they are doing. Let's focus on them. They started to focus on them and said, no, think we have to do something. And this is helping, because we used to play at the parade. When the president come to address us, then music is there. Ndilimani is there to give that music. It's how things started. The song Swapo Uripeni, it was created by the the founders of Ndilimani. So they are the one who were playing that type of music. So it was really because music was a medium to penetrate also the mobilization of the struggle of Namibia. The artists play a big role, which, well, we don't talk about it. It's not talk about it, but the artists have done their part, which need also to be recognized in this struggle. Imagine when we started even to play outside. Our first festival was in Libya, in Tripoli, the Pan-African Youth Festival. When we appeared there, and is where we met the band of ANC, the ANC band, the Palestinians, we met them also there. We used to sleep at one place with the Palestinians. All the people from the liberation struggle, we used to be placed in one place, one hotel, so that we know each other for protection, sake, and all that. I'm telling you, music and dance and drama, because like in Ndilimani, we were doing all this at one performances, play a very important role. And I don't know why it was not used until now in Namibia. And from there, I tour with Ndilimani all over the world to mobilize the world about the importance of our struggle. And also the world to know that our people are still suffering.
And in the end, our people were liberated, Tate Banana.
Yes.
But how do you intend to honor the legacy of our founding president?
I think he have done his part. Very important part he have done, because we needed him. We needed somebody to look at. In life, if you are on the course, you cannot just have a cause. Even when the Israelite nation went to the promised land, they had Moses to lead them. So for us, we had him to lead us to liberate the country. We were looking at him.
So how will you continue to honor his legacy?
We have to honor his legacy by fulfilling what the vision was and what for liberating this country. Because a lot of people have died, even heroes. People who have died during the liberation struggle, who have even sacrificed their lives. People in Kasinga, there are many. Those people, we have to honor them with him for what their vision was, to sacrifice their time, even when they were small, even as we sacrificed our time when we were teenagers, following him. So this was important, that this country must have peace. We must keep this peace. He have left it with peace. So we must build on that peace. Mostly to understand each other. We mostly insult each other too much.
Why do we do that, Tate Banana?
I don't know why we have to do that, to insult each other. But like as we have been in the struggle, people insult us too much. But people have to remember that we sacrificed our teenage time. We never went even to school. To have to finish that job. But why should people look at the history of our liberation struggle and insult, even to insult elders? You can't insult an elder person. No, it's not allowed, even by God. God said we must not ever even show a finger to an elder that you are wrong. You can't do that. Even to my father, I can't do that. Because if an elder is wrong, let him deal with it his way. as an elder. But as Namibians, we must stop to insult each other. Let's focus on rectifying what we must rectify. If something is not right, let's sit and talk that this is not right. This is the way we must go. We must learn to face each other. We are not facing each other. Instead, we are insulting each other just in the wind. But let's learn to sit down and face the issue and solve it for what we were fighting for. It was not easy to be in that war. I remember one thing I like to say. Listen to this. In one offensive, we didn't have water. We were with girls. But as the boys have to sacrifice our water to give to the girls, to have bath. Because the journey is so long that they cannot move anymore. It's where I learned that we must respect women also. We sacrifice our water to drink, to the women to bath in the war. So that is the understanding. We must go deep to understand what is the need of the other person. And sometimes we are not the same.
Indeed. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Perhaps a final word to Namibians as we prepare to say goodbye to our founding president finally.
It's very difficult to talk about an elder person as a young person. But what I want to say is we must move on and do what is right for the people of Namibia, for what we were fighting for. And what was also his vision of the founding father. He gave his time. He did his part. That is his report, where he's going. Because every one of us have come with a purpose on earth, is to do something. You cannot just leave this world without a proper report. We must know about it. He have done his part.
His report has been submitted.
His report has been submitted. You can say what is having his report. I must also have my report. You must also have your report to finish here on earth.
Thank you, Tate. Tapandula unine.
Thank you.
There you have it. Ndilimani Cultural Group's Tate Banana Shekupe, with a very important message that the founding president gave his time and did his part.